everyone. Welcome back to Faith and Flour. Today I have 6 summer salads for you. So these salads run the gamut. I have an all-in-one salad for a complete dinner. I've got several that are a twist on old classics that I know you're going to love. And I've got a sheet pan salad. All of these salads are going to go great with all of the grilling that you love to do in the summertime. They're great for packing up for picnics and potlucks. My family loves them and I know yours will too. So let's get started. This sheet pan salad combines roasted potatoes and green beans for a fresh twist on boring potato salad. It's the only salad I'm showing you today that requires cooking, so I made it all in one pan because no one wants to spend time over a hot stove in the summertime. If you love sheet pan dinners, here's another way to use that concept to whip up this delicious summer salad that will simplify your time in the kitchen. You can find all of the recipes from today's video in the description box below so that you can copy, cut, and paste if you like. Cut 2 pounds of potatoes into cubes. You can use red, or here I'm using Yukon Gold. Both of those work great in this recipe. Cut 1 large onion into wedges. Here I'm using 2 because these onions are a little on the smaller side and my family really loves the roasted onions in this recipe. Preheat your oven to 425 degrees and then combine the onions and the potatoes in a large roasting pan with 1 tablespoon of olive oil and some salt. Then roast for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, take the sheet pan out of the oven and add the green beans. Make sure to stir them in and sort of toss them amongst the potatoes and the onions, and then return everything to the oven for an additional 15 minutes or until the potatoes and the onions are golden and roasted and the green beans are tender. The dressing for this salad is so easy. It comes together super fast. I just juice a lemon and add that to the salad bowl that I'm going to mix it in. That eliminates extra mixing bowls and really simplifies my time in the kitchen, which as you can see is one of my goals. To that, I add a little bit of Dijon mustard. I think the recipe calls for a teaspoon, but I usually probably double that, so you can adjust according to your taste. And then add about a tablespoon of olive oil. When the vegetables are done, add them straight to the bowl, and to that, add some feta cheese. Toss everything together while it's still nice and hot. All the flavors will marry together. The feta cheese really adds a great flavor to the dressing. It gives it some extra saltiness. It's so delicious. Definitely don't skip that step. And this is just as good served warm as it is cold. It's an amazing dish to take along to a potluck because generally no one has had a salad quite like this before, and everyone always asks for the recipe. On this night, I served it alongside some meatloaf. That was perfect, and it also goes along with anything that you love to grill. This next salad is just a simple carrot salad, and it's just so fresh and wonderful in the summertime when you use lemon juice to make the dressing. Once again, I'm whipping up this very simple dressing for this salad right in the bottom of the salad bowl. I'm just combining about 2 heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise. It's probably about 1/4 cup, along with about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and the lemon juice. Now for the main ingredient or star of this recipe, I take 4 to 6 carrots and shred them in my food processor. Pour the shredded carrots right into the sauce that you've made in the bowl. To that, I like to add some golden raisins. You can definitely use regular raisins. I use about 1/4 to 1/2 cup. Adding a chopped fresh apple to this would also be great, but sometimes less really is more, and my family really prefers just the carrots and raisins. Toss everything to combine, and there you have it, a super simple summer salad that goes great with just about anything. And again, this is one that would be so easy to pack up for a picnic or take along to a potluck. I always like to make extra whenever possible because this is a great side for lunches too. Spinach salads are something that I crave year-round, but what's wonderful about having it in the summertime is I can take advantage of adding fresh fruits like strawberries that just aren't as good in the wintertime. I actually use mandarin oranges lots of times when fresh fruit's not available. So when it turns cold outside, don't forget about this recipe. You can have it year-round. For the dressing, combine 1 small onion that's pureed, and you'll notice that I substitute the dried minced onion, about 2 tablespoons, because I am not a big fan of the raw onion flavor, but if that's your jam, then definitely do that. It also calls for 7 tablespoons of sugar, and I do reduce that at times. That's a personal preference, so do what tastes best to you. Add 1 teaspoon of dry mustard, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, a cup of oil, 1/2 cup of cider vinegar, and a tablespoon of poppy seeds. To assemble the salad, start with some fresh washed baby spinach and then add the summer fruit of your choice. I am really partial to berries. I think blueberries are amazing in this, but strawberries is what I usually go for. Next, any nut or seed that you like. This time I'm using walnuts. Pecans are great, and so are sunflower seeds. And then I add a little bit of feta or blue cheese, and then top it with some of the dressing. And what I love about this recipe too is that there's always leftover salad dressing, so I can throw this together any night I like in a hurry. The sweetness of the berries combined with a little bit of bitterness from the spinach and the tartness from the salad dressing and the cheese combined with the crunch from the nuts is just perfection. This next salad is an all-in-one meal, and it's my take on a sort of Cobb salad. And so there's no actual recipe for this because it's different every single time. This time I'm using a store-bought salad dressing just to make things really easy. This night I'm using the Green Goddess salad dressing from Primal Kitchen. It's delicious and it makes this come together so fast. But if you prefer to make your own Greek Goddess dressing and you have fresh tarragon in your summer garden, that would be wonderful. The greens that I'm using for this salad is kale. You could certainly use spinach or regular romaine lettuce or whatever you prefer, but I love the kale in this recipe and I'm just giving it a good toss with the dressing. I find with kale salads that it's a great idea to do that. It helps to sort of break down the roughness of it if you do this just a few minutes before serving. To assemble the salad, I just arrange some of the kale that's been tossed in the dressing on a plate, and I start adding the ingredients that I have on hand for the salad. So tonight I've got some chicken breast that I have grilled and prepared in advance, so I'm going to chop that up and arrange it on the plate. I've also got some fresh sliced mushrooms, so that's gonna go on the plate, along with some canned corn. And the arrangement of this salad just makes a beautiful presentation, so I like to use things that have a variety of colors in them. And of course, if you have fresh corn, that would also be great. I have some fresh cherry tomatoes from our garden, and that adds a pretty pop of color to this salad right down the middle. Of course, some bacon bits are wonderful mixed in with this salad. And some other ingredients that I really love are fresh avocado, pickled beets, anything that your family loves in a salad would be great here. And then I just drizzle everything with some of the dressing. Giving a little more attention to the presentation is easy to do, and it makes it so appealing. This is such an easy way for me to get my family to eat kale. It's not only quick and easy, it's also a meal in and of itself, so it's the perfect option for a busy weeknight. Next up is coleslaw, and as you can see, I tend to go for very simple salads that pack a lot of flavor but are very easy to assemble with very few ingredients. And everyone has sort of an idea of what the perfect coleslaw is, but I like to switch things up just a little bit by changing a couple of ingredients or bringing in something unexpected. And so I'm starting off by shredding a carrot and, of course, chopping up a head of cabbage. Just as I showed you before, I like to make the dressing in the same bowl, so that's what I usually do. Today I got a little bit ahead of myself and started putting the carrots and the cabbage in the bowl, so I just went with that and mixed up the dressing in a separate bowl this time. If you've been with me for a while, you probably recognize this recipe. It's basically the same coleslaw recipe that I've showed you before, but this time I've got a little twist. I'm combining about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of mayonnaise along with a couple of heaping tablespoons of pickle relish. To that, I'll add a good splash of apple cider vinegar, and if I had to guess, I'd say about 1/4 cup. And to give it a little bit of a Tex-Mex flair, I'm going to use some chili lime seasoning that I get from Trader Joe's. I used about 1 tablespoon, and I really love the flavor that this gives to the coleslaw. It gives it that lime flavor, it's got a saltiness to it, and the hint of chili is just the right kick. It's not spicy at all, but you can definitely taste that chili in there. After mixing the dressing until everything is combined, I pour it over top and just toss everything to coat. Coleslaw is a classic summer salad that pairs well with anything on the grill, and I like to switch up the ingredients a little bit. You could also give it an Asian flair by adding a little bit of rice vinegar, soy sauce, and honey, or something like that. So give that a try if you want to give a little flair to your coleslaw. Tonight I am adding it to some chicken tacos. Coleslaw just gets better in the refrigerator, so make extra to have on hand and to serve with lunches and dinners throughout the week. The 6th summer salad, try saying that 3 times fast, is a bean salad. This salad is great because it takes some pantry ingredients like beans and canned corn that I always have on hand and combines them with some fresh ingredients either from our garden or the farmer's market to give it a real summer flair. Start by combining the ingredients for the dressing in the bottom of the bowl. I use 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of cider vinegar, a tablespoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. To that, I'll add a couple of tablespoons of the minced dry onion that I love. If you like fresh onion, you can certainly finely chop one and add it in as well. Adding fresh basil to this salad really gives it a summer flair in my opinion. I love basil. I'm always very lucky with growing it in our garden. I think it's just the area where we live, but I usually have almost more than I can use, so this is a great way for me to use it and for our family to enjoy it. After removing the basil leaves from the stem, I chop mine finely with a knife. I have heard that that is not the thing to do, that it bruises the basil, but to me it doesn't make any difference. It adds the same amount of flavor whether you tear it or chop it, so you do you, whatever makes you happy. But this basil makes this salad so good. Depending on what fresh ingredients I have on hand, this salad can be really different from time to time when I make it. Today I have some really beautiful cherry tomatoes, so I'm going to quarter those and add them in. I'm also using about half of an English cucumber, also known as a hothouse cucumber or seedless cucumber. They actually do have seeds, but they are much smaller. If you use a regular cucumber, I would suggest scraping out the seeds. It just makes the salad a little less watery. Also, a red, yellow, or orange bell pepper is great in this salad, so if you have that on hand, that's a great thing to add. Today I'm using 1 can of drained, rinsed black beans, 1 can of drained, rinsed chickpeas or garbanzo beans, 1 can of drained corn. Fresh summer corn would be amazing in this, and you could also add or substitute other beans that you prefer, such as kidney beans. Just toss it all together and you are good to go. Again, this salad makes a great side for anything from the grill. I also can eat this all by itself for lunch. It just gets better if you refrigerate it, so definitely make some extra to save for leftovers. I hope these summer salads gave you some inspiration as you do your meal planning this summer. I hope that it makes your time in the kitchen enjoyable so that you can get out and get busy with all of the fun summer activities. Maybe pack a picnic with one of these and enjoy it with your family. Thank you so much for spending your time with me here today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and don't leave without subscribing if you haven't already done so. Subscribing is absolutely free and easy. All you have to do is click on my picture. As always, I look forward to talking with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a wonderful week.